What's up? Hi, hello everyone. Welcome back to the channel. I've been wondering what to do with the channel as after last season ended, and one of the ideas that I came up with was playing Pokemon ROM hacks. There are a lot of them out there. Maybe for a bit of a project, but for now, the opportunity presented itself to join another draft league because I got invited to and chosen to participate in the Tatsugiri League season number 5. I am once again participating as the coach of my team, the Cheerful Corviknights. And this season I have drafted, I think, a very interesting team. It's certainly not as offensive as last season, but I really like the team, and for starters, I finally managed to draft Gouging Fire, which is a mon I've been looking forward to use for a long time, but the opportunity had not presented itself until now. This is an absolute unit of a Pokemon. It's very offensive, can be a very good physical wall breaker, and it's also my favorite Paradox mon out of the ones that are based on legendaries. So yeah, I'm looking forward to see what I can cook with Gouging Fire. Then my round 2 pick was dropped during grace period, so I'll get to that later. But my round 3 pick, I decided I wanted some speed, and because Dragapult gets chosen round 1, of course, and the Deoxys speed would have been very expensive for me, I decided to secure Jolteon. Jolteon is a very fast mon, and I decided to make it one of my Terra captains with Terra Electric, Ice, and Water. Water because of its ability Volt Absorb, so it's gonna nullify one of the two weaknesses that Water has. And Terra Jolteon, I think, is such a cool Terra captain. It's very underrated, so I'm looking forward to using it and surprising everyone even more because everyone was surprised that I picked Jolteon so early. Then my round 4 pick was Primarina. I love Primarina as a starter, and last season one of my friends had Primarina and it did so much damage, and it just made me want to use her more in draft. So, she's very offensive, but she also has quite a bit of special defense, and because of her speed she allows me to have some slow momentum on top of Jolteon's fast momentum. I think I'm gonna have a lot of fun using Primarina and just blasting a lot of things in the face. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Then my next pick was Skarmory because I realized I needed some ground immunities or resistance. And Corviknight was taken. I wanted to use Corviknight again, my mascot, but before Corviknight was even a thing, I've loved Skarmory. I started my journey in Pokemon playing Pokemon Sapphire, and Skarmory was one of the ones that got me through the Elite Four. So, very fan of Skarmory. It is very physically defensive, so now I have good physical defense in Skarmory and good special defense in Primarina, as well as speed in Jolteon, so things are looking pretty good. And it can also set up hazards. So, yeah, I realized that Skarmory fit very well into my team. And on the topic of ground immunities or resistances, it leads me to my next pick, which is Watching, and I was very surprised that it was still on the board. This is another mod that can be very bulky and very, very annoying to deal with because it has some good recovery, it has Leech Seed, it has knockoff. Overall, Watching is the definition of a bulky disruptor. On top of that, last season, one of my good friends, shout out to Super Dolphin, who is also in this season, so looking forward to battling them. They had Watching last season, and they had it as a Terra captain, so I realized just how good of a Terra captain this can be. Looking forward to annoy a lot of people with Watching. And then my next pick ended up being Hisuian Zoroark, because I kinda needed a fighting immunity and a normal immunity and a ghost immunity, and I was running out of options, but Zoroark Hisui covers all of those while still being very offensive, and it can, do illusion shenanigans to trick my opponents. So I'm going for fun this season, honestly. I'm gonna have fun using Gouging Fire, I'm gonna have fun using Terra Jolteon, I'm gonna have fun with Primarina, I'm gonna have fun annoying people with Washin, I'm gonna have fun tricking people with Zoroark. So, you know, I think my team is gonna be pretty annoying to deal with. Then I saw another mon that still surprised me that was on board, and I ended up picking Cleavor, because the ability to set up hazards on top of doing damage with Stone Axe, I think is pretty big. It also gives me more momentum and is pretty physically offensive. It can also, you know, set up Swords Dance and then start doing a lot of damage. And, you know, things that will usually resist Cleavor, Cleavor's stab moves, it has some decent coverage for them. So I think Cleavor is gonna be very important in this, you know, this season. Then after picking up Cleavor, I decided to pair her up with none other than Espion, because Cleavor is one of the 2 mons, or 3 I guess if you count Smeargle, that can set up hazards while bypassing Magic Bounce. So Espion having Magic Bounce is gonna make my opponent think very careful of when they want to use their own hazards, lest they find themselves surprised by having them on their own field. Espion is also another especially offensive mon, so you know, the ability to remove Espion's weaknesses by terastalizing and then using that opportunity to set up, I think are gonna make Espion very powerful. It is at this point that I have realized that my round 2 mon was doing my team more harm than good, and I decided to end up dropping. With few points remaining, I was carefully deciding upon my plan of action, but I ended up seeing that Serena was still on the board, and I decided why not. She is such a good spinner, she can be very offensive, and her bulk isn't that bad either, so I thought she was gonna be pretty valuable on my team. Then, with only 2 points remaining, I decided to cover my weaknesses even more, and I had already figured out what mons I wanted to trade my second pick for. So my last pick before Grace ended up being Whiscash. Admittedly, it is not a very powerful mon, it is not also very bulky, but conversely, it is gonna be a Pokemon that people are going to be underestimating, so I'm looking forward to using Whiscash to snag a couple kills here and there. With that, I was out of points, so I was over with drafting, and then Grace period started, so I had the chance to drop my round 2 pick, which was Excadrill, and I ended up getting 2 more Pokemon. The first of them ended up being Cobalion because I wanted to cover more of my weaknesses, and her ability Justified allows me to punish knockoff spam. She also has some very good defense bulk and an interesting speed tier in 108, so I thought it was pretty cool to have on my team. Finally, my last Pokemon ended up being Typhlosion Hisu. With it, now I have both a physical fire Pokemon in Gouging Fire and a special fire Pokemon in Typhlosion, as well as a secondary Ghost type, so I don't have to rely on Zoroark. And the ability Frisk is also very good for scouting early on the match to see what item my opponent has brought. So yeah, that is the team that I have drafted this season. Plenty of mons that I wanted to use before, and like I said, rather than immediate offense, I think it's gonna be more annoying to deal with. But also it's gonna be a lot of fun to use, I think. So looking forward to this season. Let me know in the comments what you think, and also which of the ones that I have drafted is your favorite. The next time we see is gonna be the week 1 match, so look forward to that. And as always, if you like the video, please consider leaving a like, or subscribe if you wanna be notified of when I post my next videos, including the Draft League content, and quite possibly Pokemon ROM hacks. And if you wanna chat on Discord, my tag is on the screen and will be in the description below as well. With that, that's gonna be all for today's video. See you later this week for the week 1 match, and bye bye!